Hi guys, this is to answer John's comment first. A chance that I'll get to you in a little bit. John, yes, it is an unusual way of doing RC, but at the time I was on the dole, didn't have much money, so, and also the model was so small. Oh, excuse me. The radio gear at the time wouldn't have fitted anyway, not even the micro stuff they were doing there. The coal, it still only lets me do at MP4. They haven't answered my email, so I'm going to do another one. My mate's coming round later, so he could type it in for me. The uploads you told me to do, I've tried them 3 times, 3 failures. The last one took 2.5 hours to do. At 98%, it failed. So I've given up. I've given up at the moment. I'll just do. I'm going to go down to 4.3 and just carry on for that, like that for the moment, until I get Cole's full program up and running, and check off. I might check a couple others out while I'm like this anyway. Okay, thanks for your information. I did find it very useful. I think YouTube's changed their page for downloading. I've looked on there also for their downloading of videos, or uploading videos, I should say. Uploading video. But they all seem to be different than the page I have, so they may have updated it again since they've done those videos. I don't know. Like I said, they're not letting me do high definition uploads. Cole is not letting me save high definition uploads either. It says it would, and it starts the process. I mean, it goes to the page where it starts saving it to a file, and it just stays on 0. So, like I said, I'm gonna get my mate to do an email to Cole to see if we can get an answer from them. Like I said, they haven't answered me first one. They might have lost it or something. I don't know. I'm going to give them another chance to do it. Right, Chancellor. Thanks for your comment. Yes, yeah, I do have a lot of trouble with light coloured paints. They can be a pain sometimes. But in humble enamels, I think there's only about 2 or 3 that I have trouble with. Brilliant white, or gloss white, I should say. It's the one that I have the most trouble with. They use a varnish in there, so they don't use a lacquer, they use a varnish. And the varnish has actually got a yellow tinge to it. And that shows. That's why it goes to creamy white instead of brilliant white. And I use matte white. But then again, the varnishes that I used to use, and I could only get varnishes in those days, it was yellowing the white down as well. So I was ending up with cream anyway. Matte white, you couldn't handle anything with it. You had to use surgical gloves to handle the model if you just done it in pure matte white. And then again, you had to put some gloss on top of it anyway to put the transfers on. So that part of the model went cream. So you had to do the whole thing. Instead of getting a nice white 0, you got a cream 0. So I tended not to do white aircraft. Well, I didn't do any white models at all. and which was a bit of a pain for me because I wanted to do a lot of Star Trek ones. As I said, I went over to car paints, the cellulose, and as long as I'd done the light dustings on them, they didn't put heavy coats on. I could put about 4 coats of light dusting on them, and they covered beautifully. That's when I started doing my Star Trek stuff again. And of course, they were gloss. Coming out of the can, they were gloss. So, I'm going to have to stop this a second. I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to cut you short anyway. But as I said, was right. I got it out of the can from the car painting shops, and as you see here, that little TR4 I got, after all these years, it's still white, pure white as well. The only yellowing on it was from the smoke damage. But like I said, the X20's cleaned that up with treat. No, that's it. That's it for now. I'll have to get going. I've just got one more item I want to put on here. It's the mig29 update. It's going to be 3 or 4 days before I get back to this. So, excuse a second, I've got it here. I just wanted to show you. The exhaust jets, the exhaust nozzles. I've painted those up. Done them. They're done and that lot. They're done and dusted. The nose cone, I've painted and put the silver on it, as I said. I was going to do with the Tamiya paint. I actually used the X11. That's 10 years old, and it's still viable. So that's fine. That's fine. Now, for the mig29, I've got most of the major components on here now. The only thing I've got left to put on is the dive brake. Yes, it is a dive brake. I know I said air brake when I first opened it up. That was a slip of the tongue. I actually meant dive brake. That's not the air brake, but it's dive brake. I've also painted the exhaust parts on this as well. I painted them before I put these 2 pieces on, because the top deck overshoots onto the exhaust nozzle, and it's got part of the exhaust nozzle on it as well. So I wanted to paint underneath so that you wouldn't see any plastic left in there. I've also done the wire here, but I had a failure. Not with the model, with the photograph. It went all fuzzy on me. I don't know, all streaky lines like the old TVs used to be like. So it was unusable. I'll show you this method again in another model. I'm always doing this. I'm always putting the models in different attitudes. I like to see them like that. This will be up like this on its stand. So it looks like it's just taken off, and it's banking around to go up into a vertical climb, and that's how they do it in the demonstrations. So that's the attitude I'm going to put it in. The wings have been put on. There's a little bit of filler in them. Not much at all. I thought there was going to be more, but it actually turned out not to be too much at all. The fins went on. They're nice, and they're at the right angle. They're both the same angle, so that went fine. There's been no filler added to them. They seem to have gone on perfectly. But until I get this covered with a white undercoat, I won't be able to tell. That white undercoat will show up all the blemishes that I need to fill or sand out. Until I've done that, I can't do anything with it. I'll have to mask these jet exhausts up when I do that, because they're finished painted. And that's it for now. I've put the canopy back in the bag. I don't want that scratched, so because I've got a bit of time to do this with. I'm going to try and get